The soft glow of the kitchen lights cast a golden hue over the polished countertops. A gentle hum of jazz played in the background, setting the perfect mood for what was meant to be a special evening. The protagonist, let's call them Alex, moved between the stove and the dining table, arranging a meal that had taken hours to prepare. Tonight was supposed to be memorable. A celebration of love, of trust, of everything Alex had built with their partner, Emma. At the center of the kitchen, 10-year-old Liam bounced on his toes, his face alight with excitement. "I want to help. Let me do something," he pleaded, eyes gleaming with admiration. Alex chuckled, ruffling his hair. "All right, Chef Liam. How about you set the table? Make it look extra fancy." Liam took the task seriously, carefully unfolding linen napkins and placing each utensil with exaggerated precision. To him, this night was important, not just because of the fancy dinner but because he adored Emma too. She had been part of their lives for over a year now, and he saw her as family. As Alex stirred the sauce on the stove, the soft chime of a notification cut through the music. Alex glanced at the phone resting on the counter, Emma's phone. She had left it there last night. The name on the screen was unfamiliar. A single word, tonight. Before Alex could dwell on it, Liam clapped his hands. "Done. I even made a centerpiece." He stepped aside, revealing a small candle surrounded by a ring of freshly picked flowers. Alex smiled, pushing aside the unease curling in their stomach. "It's perfect." Just then, the front door creaked open. Footsteps, hesitant at first, then steady. Emma appeared in the doorway, her expression unreadable. She looked beautiful as always, her dark hair falling in loose waves, lips curved into a soft smile. But there was something else in her eyes tonight. Something distant. Liam beamed. "Surprise." Emma blinked, then let out a small laugh. "Wow, this is unexpected." Alex stepped forward, pressing a kiss to her cheek. "We wanted to make tonight special." For a fleeting second, Emma hesitated before returning the embrace. "That's really sweet," she murmured, her voice softer than usual. Liam, oblivious to the undercurrents shifting between the adults, pulled out a chair. "Come on, sit. The food is almost ready." Emma smiled at him, but when she met Alex's gaze, something flickered, something she quickly masked. As Alex plated the meal, the phone's earlier message lingered in the back of their mind. Who had sent it? What did it mean? Yet, with Liam's excited chatter filling the space, there was no room for doubt. Not yet. The night was still young, but something about it felt different. Like a puzzle missing a crucial piece. And before it was over, that missing piece would change everything. The clinking of silverware against porcelain filled the candlelit kitchen. The scent of roasted herbs and butter lingered in the air, wrapping the evening in warmth. Liam sat between Alex and Emma, happily swinging his legs beneath the chair, unaware of the subtle tension crackling in the air. Emma smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. "This is delicious," she murmured, twirling her fork through the pasta. Alex studied her closely. She looked present, engaged, yet something about her felt distant, like she was keeping part of herself locked away. Was it exhaustion? Distraction? Or something else entirely? Liam, completely oblivious, launched into an animated story about his day. And then, at recess, James tried to do a backflip off the swings, but he totally wiped out. He laughed, his joy infectious. Alex forced a chuckle, nodding along, but their focus remained on Emma. Every so often, she glanced at her phone, which now rested beside her plate. The earlier message, "Tonight," nagged at the back of Alex's mind, an uninvited thought refusing to leave. Emma noticed the glance and quickly flipped the phone screen down. "Work's been crazy," she said, as if reading Alex's thoughts. "I keep getting last-minute texts." Alex nodded, but the response felt rehearsed. Too smooth. Too easy. Liam suddenly gasped. "Oh. I almost forgot." He jumped up, running to the counter. "I made dessert." With a proud grin, he held up a plate of slightly uneven chocolate-dipped strawberries. "I made them all by myself." Emma laughed, a real genuine sound this time. "They look amazing, Liam." He beamed, offering her the first one. As she reached for it, her phone vibrated against the table, the name flashing for only a second before she snatched it up. But Alex had seen enough. No contact saved. A string of numbers. Another message. Still on for later? Emma froze, phone in hand. Alex felt something tighten in their chest. The warmth of the evening suddenly felt suffocating, the candlelight too dim, the air too thick. Liam, unaware of the sudden shift in energy, climbed back onto his chair. "Aunt Emma, aren't you gonna try one?" Emma hesitated, just for a fraction of a second, before forcing a smile.
Of course, buddy.
She bit into the strawberry, making an exaggerated sound of approval.
Perfect.
Alex barely heard her. Their heart pounded in their ears, drowning out the light-hearted moment. The message, the hesitation, the guarded looks, it all clicked together in an ugly, undeniable way. A slow storm of realization settled in, quiet yet deafening. Something was wrong. Something was being hidden. And whether Alex was ready for the truth or not, it was waiting just beyond the fragile piece of this evening, ready to shatter everything. The kitchen, once filled with warmth, now felt like a stage where an unseen drama played out beneath carefully constructed smiles. Alex sat still, fingers tracing the rim of their wineglass, eyes fixed on Emma. The messages lingered in their mind, turning over and over like a riddle with an answer they weren't ready to hear. Liam, oblivious to the storm brewing, licked melted chocolate from his fingers. This was the best dinner ever. He grinned, proud of his contribution.
Right, Aunt Emma? Emma nodded quickly.
Absolutely, kiddo. Her smile faltered for just a moment before she reached for her phone, slipping it into her lap as if shielding it from view. Alex exhaled slowly, keeping their voice steady.
Who keeps texting you?
Emma's fork stilled against her plate.
Just a coworker. Nothing important. A simple answer. Too simple.
Alex could feel the weight of unspoken words pressing between them. Liam, eager to stay part of the conversation, chimed in.
Oh.
I saw Aunt Emma at the park today. The room went silent. Emma's head snapped up, her expression unreadable.
What?
Liam continued, chewing on a strawberry. I was with Mom, and I saw you sitting on a bench. You were talking to some guy. He paused, squinting as if trying to recall a small detail. He gave you a hug. You looked kinda sad. Alex's stomach dropped. Emma's face drained of color. The pieces clicked together all at once. The messages. The secrecy. The lingering sense that something was off. Alex turned to Emma, voice barely above a whisper.
Who was he? Emma hesitated. A second too long. Just a friend.
Liam furrowed his brows.
But he kissed your cheek.
And you were holding hands for a little bit. A heavy silence settled over the table. The air felt thick, suffocating. Alex's hands curled into fists beneath the table, heart pounding so loudly it drowned out everything else.
Emma swallowed hard.
Alex pushed back from the table, chair scraping against the floor.
Don't.
Liam's eyes darted between them, confusion creeping onto his face. Did I say something wrong? Emma reached for Alex's hand, but they pulled away. I was going to tell you, she murmured, her voice fragile, trembling.
Alex let out a hollow laugh. When? After dinner? Next week? Or never?
Emma's silence was the only answer needed. Liam looked between them, small shoulders slumping. He had only wanted to help make the night special. Instead, he had unknowingly unraveled everything. Alex's breath shook as they stood. The walls of their home, the place where love had once felt safe, now felt foreign. The truth had been exposed. There was no taking it back. And now, nothing would ever be the same again. The house had never felt so quiet. The weight of the truth lingered in the air long after Emma had left, her hurried apologies fading into the night. Alex stood by the kitchen sink, staring at the half-eaten meal, the candles flickering weakly as if mirroring the fading warmth between them. Liam sat at the table, small fingers tracing invisible patterns on the wooden surface. He hadn't spoken much since Emma walked out, sensing the shift in the world he had thought was safe. I didn't mean to make you sad, he whispered, voice barely above a breath. Alex turned, their heart aching at the sight of him. So young, so innocent, yet unknowingly the catalyst for a truth that needed to be revealed. You didn't do anything wrong, buddy, they said gently, kneeling beside him. You were just honest. Liam's eyes shimmered with guilt. I thought surprises were supposed to make people happy. Alex forced a small smile, brushing a strand of hair from his face. Sometimes, surprises show us things we need to see, even if they hurt. For a long moment, they sat in silence, the soft hum of the refrigerator the only sound in the room. Then, Liam leaned against Alex's shoulder, his warmth a quiet comfort.
"Are you gonna be okay?" he asked.
Alex exhaled slowly, feeling the ache in their chest settle into something else, something steadier.
"Yeah," they murmured. "I think I will."
The truth had broken something, but in its place, clarity had begun to take root. Emma's betrayal was undeniable, but so was the realization that love, real love, should never feel like doubt, like secrecy, like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Liam sat up suddenly, determination in his little face. "Then we should do something fun tomorrow. Something new."
Alex arched a brow. "Oh yeah?
Like what?"
He grinned.
"We should make pancakes.
But like, fancy ones.
With fruit and whipped cream." Alex chuckled, ruffling his hair. "That actually sounds perfect." It was a small thing, but it felt like a beginning. Not of forgetting, but of moving forward. That night, as Alex cleared the table and blew out the last candle, they realized something. Love wasn't just about grand gestures and whispered promises, it was about who stayed when things fell apart.
It was about honesty, about trust.
About the people who sat beside you in the quiet, making pancakes when the world felt broken. And in that moment they knew, the future was uncertain, but they weren't facing it alone.